at this time on this program, Morning Spring, on Western Spring Television, the station that says it as it is. Femi Adefila is my name. Good to know that you are there on this program. We look at the headlines, and then at the other side of that, we get talking about these issues where we have critical stakeholders analyze these issues for us, balanced angles, balanced reportage, balanced opinions. That's what we have here. By the way, ours is to have these conversations. Yours is to make do of what you want of these conversations. But it is tailored towards having a better and a prosperous nation. A nation that we are proud of. Good people, great nation every day here at Western Spring Television, Channel 190 Star Times, DTT, and of course on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. Once again, good morning. Evelyn, good morning.
Good morning, Femi. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very well. Thank you.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you for joining us on another day, another edition of Morning Spring. We thank God for life. And like Femi said, this is where we make sense of the different conversations in the public space. We interrogate them and provide some analysis to some of this, topical issues. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Thank you for joining us. It's another day in our anniversary week, and I should tell the viewers that it's been splendid since Monday, and we climaxed at the weekend with so much celebration. Western Spring Television is one, and in that space of just 1 year, 365 days, I tell you, we have really made lots of impact, and we are grateful to God. We're grateful to God Almighty for all that He has made us to achieve all through these days. Yeah,
and thank you as well to our distinguished viewers across the globe who join us every day to make sure we do what we do here and getting better as well. We interrogate these further in the course of the program. The journey, how has it been? Today marks exactly 1 year that broadcast or program to resume here at Western Spring Television. So quite an iconic day, and thank you for being part of that as well. But before we go to the headline, something happened at the weekend. Not really an event. It was more like a disclosure by a former governorship candidate in Lagos State, Mr. Duarte, in which he went on his social media page to put up some documents that, according to him, purportedly he got those information from the procurement platforms of the Lagos State government. And then it had some, his aim was that some of those things, the procurement that has been done, the cost of past 1 year or thereabout, past few months, he feels those things should be reviewed because some of them are quite, for the want of a better word, quite awkwardly interesting, or to say it as it is, quite crazy, and this is something that is getting so many persons' tongues wagging about the kind of procurement we do in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State. And he said these are not what he found out or what he put up himself. These are public documents. He just possibly noted some of those things. And, since the weekend that the thing has surfaced, many persons have been expecting the Lagos State government to come out with a counter argument to say, this is this, this is that, or are these lies, or are there circumstances why those things were the same, were the way they were. And it's quite interesting, to say the least, that among many other things, the opaque nature of how some of those things were brought into the fore is quite interesting, because let me see if I can get some of them here. And the kind of purchase, like notable, funny among those things is getting free grants for the office of the governor.
I think it's worth
in the excess of 7 million.
Over 7 million, 7.4 million actually. And we also had the renovation of a church, about 531.5 million naira. Provision of rechargeable fans, lights for the office of the deputy governor, about 2 billion naira. I mean,
provision of supply items, rechargeable fans, rechargeable lights, and fridge. In the office of the deputy governor.
Supply.
Excess of 2 billion naira.
Yes. And we
in
also,
July 2023.
In fact, we also have the office of the deputy governor's wife.
Yeah.
It was monthly empowerment.
Citizens, but they didn't say office, by the way. Let's say it there, because there's no office of the deputy governor.
Yeah, but why is it on the deputy governor's
monthly
wife?
outreach of indigent citizens by a wife of the deputy governor, 30 million naira only.
If it's Femi, if it's in this document, it means it is an office.
Yeah.
I want to believe so. That if it's in this document, that means it's recognized by the state as an office. Replacement
of the liquid fragrance. Also, some are saying, about the solid fragrance. At the office of Mr. Governor in Ikeja, Lagos House Ikeja, 7.4 million. That must be very expensive, and a world-class kind of saint coming from such fragrance. Decoration of venue for political delegates. This is quite unacceptable, if you ask me. Decoration of venue for political delegate congress. Why should you use Lagos State money for political reasons? No, that's not the way it should be. That's why you have political parties, isn't it? For them to fund such enterprise, excess of 20 million naira, and flying hour expenses on ad hoc charter plane by Lagos State government, 400 million naira, another 112 million naira. That was the first one was in July, the second one was in August. And Ministry of Agriculture, Commission and Operations Staff of Support of Lagos Rice Mill in Mota, and 300 million. It's one that is setting tongues wagging. Many persons
it's generating a lot of controversy.
I think there was one place that is talking about supply and distribution of chicken
across the state, 18.4 million naira.
Office of the Chief of Staff. What has that got to do? Supply.
People are actually anticipating the response of the Lagos State government on what actually these figures are about, because it's better to come out and clear the air than
maybe
for people
there
to have
are instances, and then from the office of the Chief of Staff again, procurement of a brand new Lexus LX 600 bulletproof sport utility vehicle for use in the pool of office of Chief of Staff, by the way, 440 million naira. Many persons, I think we talked about it yesterday. No wonder Senator Karimi was saying, why are you guys always harsh on the legislators? And this gives credence to that. Do you know what the executive do? 440 million naira per vehicle, bulletproof. Interesting days ahead. We hope the Lagos State government will come out with something quite reasonable, for the want of a better word, to explain why these things are done. And by the way, this is just Lagos State government. It's because somebody has taken the pain to bring out this fact. Many persons say we have many of those things in different states, and these are the things that we see. But then when it's time for the executive, legislatures, or the judiciary, the top guys, to enjoy their life, to have the paraphernalia of office, everything goes on well. But when it's the turn of the people to have basic, the people are not even asking, people are not even asking for luxury. Just give us the basic amenities. Then you keep on saying there is no money, there is austerity, there is, dollar. It's quite...
Nigeria is broke.
Yeah, Nigeria is broke. It's when it turns to the people. When it gets to the turn of the people, that's when suddenly the nation is broke. We wait to see how they span out. We move straight to the headlines right now. And on this day, I will start with Daily Independent. All right, the Daily Independent. And is talking about telcos bemoaning profit dip amid volatile economy. Telcos bemoan profit dip amid volatile economy. Lose over 5 million subscribers in 8 months. Okay. Right. Western democracy not working for Africa or Obasanjo. And snatching opposition's mandate inimical to democracy. Article. Broader queries DSS refusal to allow family visit Nnamdi Kanu, and raises fresh concern over his health. This is one case that is not going away. And police refute assassination attempt on Rivers factional speaker. Honorable Ohiolei yesterday came out to say in the middle of the night, that was yesterday, struck yesterday, 2 days ago, in the middle of the night rather, police and some armed men stormed his house, caused panic. And he was wondering what happened. The police are refuting the assassination attempt on him now. And crisis rocks aviation union election as aggrieved parties threaten court action. Appeal court opposed Benue governor's election as Father Alia, an NPC postponement blessing in disguise. Federal government records over 1 trillion naira monthly revenue from subsidy removal. Federal government records over 1 trillion naira monthly revenue from subsidy removal. We'd like to know how that one is, what it means actually. Is it that they have a fund to the tune of 1 million naira now, or they have something really to spend, or they will have wasted 1 trillion naira? Because some of these things you need some detail for you to know. Do we have that money in cash, or is what Nigeria could have lost to subsidy removal that we didn't get to pay because of these things? And these are some of the issues. Economy. Editors confirm urges federal government to reduce deafening anxiety among Nigerians. And lastly, a lottery regulation failed 15 years after. Supreme Court hears Lagos Ekiti suit against federal government, 34 states, March 13. That will be all from the front page of the Daily Independent.
All right, we move straight to Vanguard newspaper this morning. The front page: on ease in financial markets as CBN's NPC meeting fails to hold. A lot of riders, couple of riders there on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Some of the rider here on Vanguard says it can aggravate economic uncertainty. Muda Yusuf, better a new date rather than leave it hanging. Commercial partners, it would keep investors guessing. Akinloye says, and market will assume policy directions of the MPC. Chiazar is speaking there. An NPC has not been officially constituted, says Olatunde. It will heighten speculation on certainty of economy, ONI, and not good for the economy. Coffee, it will worsen Nigeria's macroeconomic woes, social justice group. Putting a ratio to this, it seems more of some pessimistic view about this postponement of the MPC meeting rather than the optimistic view.
Yeah, because it has been done twice.
But let's see, moving on, let's see what happens in the course coming weeks and months. Still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning: democracy has failed in Africa, says former President Olusegun Obasanjo. More details of that is on page 10. And also this particular statement from the former president has got people talking because it's saying that as Africa, we should, as Nigerians, as Africa, we should look for something that is, that we can operate.
That works for us.
We should not have totally copied the liberal Western democracy. We could have copied, we could have something like Afro-democracy, something that works for us.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Something peculiar to the African region, because we have a multiplicity of culture,
interest.
So we should come together and actually come up with something that works for us.
Doesn't that give credence to our dictatorial tendency? Because it used to be monarchy, a particular chief, high chief, king, ruling in their domains. They rule. They don't consult, especially except with their chiefs. Rule. Possibly that's who we are. Then it's a deep one that many persons are already talking about, especially coming from a former president, not just a former president, somebody respected, arguably so, in Africa, an African continent. When Obasanjo speaks, people listen. Either they want to listen to him or they don't want to listen to him. They listen to him. Either you agree with him or not. So that's why we feel, okay, maybe Africa should have a tailor-made kind of a system that we run, maybe not the entire presidential system that we operate in Nigeria, something that looks more like, something that suits us. Yeah. But then it depends on what suits us. But,
some people have called for a parliamentary system of government. Some people have called for regional system of government. And let's see if we are going to look into that. But the former president has spoken anyways. Still on Vanguard newspaper, subsidy removal. FD records over 1 trillion naira monthly revenue. Wale Odun, the Minister of Finance, says. It's time for political reform, says Labour Party. 4 days after, appeal court yet to release CTC of Kano judgment, says the NNPP. That's on page 13. And you realize that particular judgment sacked the Kano state governor. So, but then the NNPP right now saying that the appeal court is yet to release the CTC of the judgment.
That's right.
And still on Vanguard, let's go to the topmost part of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Banks income tax rises 132% to 311 billion naira in 9 months. Get more details of that on page 19. APC snatch, grab and run agenda inimical to democracy. That's the People's Democratic presidential candidate for the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, speaking there. An economic recovery, editors confirm urges FG to reduce deafening anxiety among Nigerians. Earlier when we were speaking, we talked about the fact that Nigerians are made to sacrifice, Nigerians are made to go through stuff. Now, how are they to reduce this deafening anxiety? It's just for them to do what they are supposed to do as a government for the people, not for themselves. Tinubu to German investors, Nigeria as ingredient to become modern economy. That's on page 25. And I remember someone on X, saying that you go outside of the country to woo those people to come into your country and invest. You go to ask them to come and deposit billions of dollars in your own country.
Investment,
But at the end of the day, these monies are looted. So what sense does it make that I come to invest so much money into your company, into your country, and at the end of the day,
people that get to use, the most of those monies are these guys that we're talking about.
A few,
that have been alleged to be getting fingerprints for 7 million naira upwards, by the way, and distribution of chickens at the office of the deputy governor. You wonder, how is that his business, by the way? It's quite interesting for FDI. Tinubu has been going around the world. I think he's still in Germany. I'm not sure if he's back. Wooing investors, telling them that the coast is clear now. I remember him talking yesterday, saying, addressing the business community and leaders, telling them you are free to invest your money and you are free to pull out your money whenever you feel like it's okay. But then how does this benefit the man from Kauranamuda, from Okini in Osun State, from Daura, Bere Ibadan, Daura in Katsina, by the way, and many other places, Bunza in Kebbi State. Now, these are the things and how this thing impact the lives of the people.
All right, that's on Vanguard newspaper. And the comic there, Mr. and Mrs. We used to cross this, Mrs. talking to Mr. We used to cross this bridge when we were dating. Today, we are here to celebrate our wedding anniversary on the same bridge. I'd like to cross it next year in a brand new SUV anniversary gift from you. And Mr. responding to that, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
A couple of bridges to be crossed, yeah.
All right, that's all for the Vanguard newspaper.
Straight to the Punch newspaper. All right. And reps probe 447 billion COVID-19 spending, summon 83 MDAs. Lawmakers allege mismanagement of funds from 2020 to 2022. demand accountability. And panel plans 6-day grilling of MDA's chief account, finance and procurement officers. You have the picture of the president there, of course, in his journey, or trip rather, to Germany, in Berlin. Tinubu's G20 investors, FAAC meets over multiple taxation, and Osun CJ court workers protest. Assembly list seems. Okay, interesting one there. BRT users lament shortage of buses and long queues. And Israel Hamas, women, children carry war burden. Families await hostages. And Obasaki's deputy joins governorship race, plans campaign. And any suspends World Bank's arbitration on OPL 245 dispute. And presidency films tackles Obasanjo over democracy comment. There is, quite the offshoot of what the former president Olusegun Obasanjo said when he was talking about the democracy, the subject of democracy, the system of democracy, and how it impacts Africa, and if actually it is meant for us. One will say for a man that came to power, firstly, as a military head of state, and then had the opportunity to come back to power on the heels of democracy, crossing from military government to democracy, and he ruled for 80 years. So many are thinking, why didn't he say so? Why he was there? So many are thinking that's hypocrisy. He's on the same system.
The bridge
you came to power for the second time on this same democracy, and you ruled for 8 years, and almost he left in 2007, right? And for almost 15 years or thereabout, you didn't see anything else. Now you're talking about democracy not being good, but then that's a different kettle of fish to look into. That will be all from the front page of the Punch for today.
All right, let's get through the Nigerian Tribune, the front page this morning. Western liberal democracy not working in Africa, says Obasanjo. The Supreme Court to hear Lagos Ekiti suit against FG 34 other states over lottery control March 13. Obaseki to lead Delta, Ondo, Ekiti to repurchase shares, reorganize BEDC to solve electricity crisis. That's on page 4. And 110 million children in Nigeria at risk, more vulnerable to climate change. UNICEF is speaking. Subsidy removal, FG recuts over 1 trillion naira monthly revenue inflow. Wale Edun says. Still on Nigerian Tribune front page, APC set to take over Plateau Assembly from PDP. And Femi, this is one state that we need to focus on. I think the leadership of the country and also the people need to focus on, because the recent judgment, we had about 7 lawmakers sacked in that particular state. All of them are PDP lawmakers. And I remember when that judgment was given, the youths, the people took to the street. There were bonfires to protest against that judgment. And right now we also had the governor sacked, by the appeal court. Yeah. So I feel we need to actually, the leadership of the country need to be able to forestall any attack or any anarchy in that particular state. Because
of the court judgment?
Not because of the court judgment, because of the reaction to the court judgment.
Court judgment, yeah.
Because I recall the particular day the 7 lawmakers were sacked, it almost caused an anarchy because people were on the streets.
Yeah, even in this case of Governor Mustang being sacked by the appeal court again. But then I think it builds not just on the leadership of the country, on the leadership of that state. People on the plateau, the leaders there to speak up, to say, you know what, even if you feel aggrieved,
calm down.
Protest is not, especially violent ones. Protest is okay, but then when it becomes violent, the leaders, even those that feels they are affected, should speak to their followers, because if those lawmakers, no matter how aggrieved they are, either justly or unjustly, the court will have to decide otherwise, by the way, or to uphold what they have said, they should rein in on their supporters to say, you know what, we feel aggrieved, we are the ones that have been affected. It's your mandate that you are giving to us that has been taken away by the court, and the only way it can be restored will still be through the court. So, guys, please slow down. It will help in a long way to douse this tension. But you see, if they stay aloof and feel like we are not the ones telling them to go on the street, or this thing doesn't concern us, everything will degenerate, and they themselves won't have a state to govern. Yeah. That's it. So the governor, Caleb Mutwang, should speak to the people in the language that they understand, where they will hear him to say, guys, slow down. Let the law take its course. Everyone that has been affected, Labour, PDP, or anyone, to say, thank you for supporting us, but please, let's calm down, because if the state goes into flames, nobody, we benefit. Either the ones that are now being, given the advantage by the court, or, the ones that are feeling sorry because of what the court has done as well. The only way to seek justice is still by justice. Yeah. So you can't just set the state up in flames. All right,
let's take on more headlines. CBN postpones NPC meeting again. Appeal court affirms Aliyah as Benue governor. And economic recovery, page 17, that's where the story is. It's on the topmost part of top strip of the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Editors Confab wants FG to reduce deafening anxiety among Nigerians, says media sustainability crucial to democracy, economic growth. Impeachment, Akeredolu Ayedatiwa supporters plan protest in Ondo. Appeal court dismisses Ondo Assembly's application against deputy governor. That's on page 16. And highly educated workforce, Nigeria's biggest advantage, Tinubu tells investors in Germany. Get more details on page 8. And that's all for Nigerian Tribune.
All right, just a couple of headlines on The Nation newspaper. Africa should dump Western democracy, says Obasanjo. That means possibly there are types of democracy, the Western, the not so Western. Tinubu to Siemens, speed up investment in power and rail. President rules Germany with safety of funds, economic reforms, educated workforce, others. And presidency tackles Atiku over claim on court verdict. And subsidy remover takes monthly federation account inflow to 1 trillion naira. Retirement directive unsettles adamant police officers. An impeachment. Appeal court rejects Ondo Assembly's fast-track request. We are committed to transparency, says Lagos Procurement Agency. Rumble in Federal Civil Service over Permanent Secretary's promotion exam. And that will be all. Osun Assembly, CJ battle over misconduct allegation, protesters at court. That these is where we put the brakes on the segment. And when we'll come back, we'll get right into the conversation. Western Spring Television is one exactly today. The journey so far, the vision, the goal. We speak to one man that, carries the burden together with the rest of us. You stay with us.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West. And Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything or nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the guts to ask. My name is Femi Adefila and I've got the gut. Let's ask the pertinent questions and watch as we get answers.
Pangolins are facing a crisis. They are the most trafficked mammals in the world. Over 1 million have been sold illegally since 2000. Pangolins may disappear forever if we don't protect them now. Say no to illegal pangolin trade and report wildlife crime. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Ohiolei.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Some people say animals don't laugh, but perhaps we don't give them a reason to. Our unique species of gorilla are only found in a small forest between Nigeria and Cameroon. With only 300 left in the wild, we cannot afford to lose even one. Traps and snares used in catching bushmeat often kills or injures gorillas too, driving them to extinction. And that, you agree, is no laughing matter. So say no to illegal bushmeat from endangered animals. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
You're welcome back. And as we said earlier, before we went on that break, WSTV, the station that says it as it is one. We are one already. Western Spring Television, Channel 190 and Star Times, TTT, and of course, on our YouTube channel on Western Spring Television. We are live right now. You can join us on our social media platforms as well, on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook, still on Western Spring Television. So this is anniversary week, and exactly today makes it 365 days, 1 year that we started broadcaster programs on these noble stations. So the goal, the vision, the journey so far, the drive behind this noble establishment is what we will be looking into today. And who is better to have speak to these things than the visionary himself, the Chief Executive Officer and the Chairman of Felecia Daniels Communications Limited, the owners of WSTV and Rave FM 91.7. And we have him here, Dr. Femi Adefila. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
All right. You're welcome. And a happy anniversary to us.
To everyone in the house, happy anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think congratulations are in order now to say we are
right.
one already.
That's
so,
right.
And here we go. It's 1 year.
Yeah.
Our time flies, by the way, 365 days. So let's interrogate the matter. What was the vision beneath here? What birthed WSTV, Rave 91.7, successful in his own right, doing very well, the radio and then the TV, WSTV. And many persons are wondering, you know what? Is this really worth it? Quite an investment. What's the goal? What does he want to achieve with broadcast on the television end of it as well? So I ask you this morning, what was the goal actually?
Well, thank you so very much.
And the vision,
Yeah. Let me say, without an ounce of doubt, that broadcast is like a calling for me. I'm very passionate about broadcast.
Calling.
That's right. When in 2015, I had the privilege, to the glory of God, to start Rave 91.7 FM, I came to Osun State with a definite ambition and dream to define the broadcast landscape. That was why we adopted Rave 91.7 FM, defining the moment.
Yeah.
That we plan and we dream of defining the broadcast landscape and determining what happens. And you know, when you talk of broadcasting, radio is one, television the other. And it will interest you that I was never a radio person in my active days as a journalist. I was a television person. But the low-hanging fruit for me in 2015 was radio. So that dream has always been there, that one day, I will fulfill my dream of having a television station. And I believe television has a role to play in the society, and radio has a role to play. Broadcast is like is a total thing. It's like a buffet. It's like a buffet, and I believe that if we serve a 2-course meal for the people of Osun State, they will have a real taste of our content orientation, our content quality, and they can enjoy us to the fullest if it's a total package, a radio and a television.
Yeah.
And I also see television as a powerful medium of mass communication. You know, television has this razzmatazz, it's a very colorful medium, and it's a good way to tell a story. I would say a better way to tell the story, not just with the voice, but with a picture accompanying it. So it's a total package. That's why we believe that we should step up. And when you do something for about 7 years, when we started Western Spring Television, Rave FM was 7 years old. We had been tested. People have trusted us, and we earned their trust. And we believe it was time we up our ante, we scale up on the ladder of professionalism by starting television. And to the glory of God, like you said, Rave 91.7 FM is already a success story. It's an household medium that people love to listen to. They love to identify with. So we believe that was an auspicious time to introduce a sister station that we cater for their television needs. So that was the reason. And like I told you, I'm very passionate about television. I've been a television guy all my life. Radio was just the low-hanging fruit for me. That was why I started my journey to broadcast entrepreneurship through that route. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. Saturday, October 31, 1959, we had the Western Network television service come on air for the first time. And it was established by the government of the then Western region led by Chief Femi Adefila. And now we have Western Spring Television. You've told us why you had the name Rave FM. Why Western Spring Television? Is there a connection with the WNTV of that time?
Thank you so very much. I think there's a connection because television in Africa started in the city of Ibadan. My uncle and a mentor, Dr. Yemi Farumbi, was privileged to be general manager of that station at one time. And he's always telling me a story about quality broadcasting when he superintended over that broadcast outfit. And that was a time they celebrated the anniversary of Western television. And it was with pomp and pageantry, with all the fanfare. And I believe that, okay, I'm in the West. Osun State is in the western part of Nigeria, part of the old Western region and Western state. And Osun is a state of the living spring.
That's right.
So we did an amalgamation of the West and the spring to form a name as an identity and to speak to where we are, our roots, where we are broadcasting from. So wherever you watch us on the face of planet Earth, you know, these people are somewhere that has something to do with the spring and the West. So that's why Western Spring Television.
It's gotten from the region and from the state.
That's right.
Amazing.
All right. You know, you spoke about your passion for quality broadcasting, and Rave or radio for you was a low-hanging fruit. The plan has always been to have our television medium, by the way, and that's why we have WSTV. But when we say, yes, we had many television stations before WSTV came into the fore. Of course, we have quite a few, 1, 2, 3 of them around here, even radio, many of them. So what is it that possibly you would have wanted to achieve that you couldn't have achieved with those ones, either as a program person, either as a content creator? Why is it that you had to go all the way? Because when we talk about television, the investment, as we know, is quite high. So was it really worth investing into?
Thank you so very much. See, if it's your dream, if it's your passion, whatever you invest in it, it's worth it. It's worth your while. Life is about making mark, about setting goals and accomplishing those goals. But fulfilling your dreams. It's not only about brick and mortar. It's not about, it's about writing your own story with your own hand. And my intention is that I want to define the broadcast landscape in this part of the world. And we started the journey with radio, and we intend to cap it up as an icing on the cake with television. And let me tell you this, broadcast is a content-driven business. What we sell here, that you and I and everyone, that we concoct every day, we plan every day, is how do we serve quality content for the listening or the viewing pleasure of the people of Osun State and beyond. And I believe that we have a role to play. If you are satisfied with the standard, then there's no point coming on board. I believe that the standard is not up to what I would have wished. And that's a slice of the bread for me to bite. Because I believe that's a lacuna. You see, business is about noticing, you study the system,
Yeah.
You notice a gap and you plug in to bridge the gap. It becomes business for you. And when it now becomes your passion and you notice that television broadcasting can be better than what I see. Radio broadcasting can be better than what I see. Then you sit down, you study the existing television stations, either private or public, and you notice the lacuna, the downside of their style of broadcasting or their content orientation, and you now sit down and you now write your own agenda to fill in the gap, to bridge the gap, and add quality to what they do. So that one makes it different. And that's what we have done. When Rave FM started, there were about 6 radio stations. And I can tell you for free, to the glory of God, that we have won the best radio station consistently for about 6 times now. That tells you something, that we came on stream, we came on board with something different. With an icing on the cake, something that attracted the people of Osun State to us. We won their trust, we won their heart, and we were able to get their ears. Now, the intention is to get as many eyeballs as possible. Stay glued to Western Spring Television. So when you watch Western Spring Television, and there's something that attracts you, something that speaks to you, we win your heart and your soul, your heart and your mind through what we do. You want to relax, there's something for you. You want to listen to quality talk, there's something for you. You want to be entertained, there's something for you. Something you can relate to, something that touches you, that speaks to you. So that's the essence. It's all about bringing quality content on board. And that's why I'm lucky I have the best of young guys, people like you guys everywhere, that we are doing this together. I can't do it alone. I don't come on television. This is my first time coming on television. You guys do the show. That's right. Why I went all out to fish. I spread my dragnet and get the best of voices, the best of faces, the best of brains on board, so that we can deliver together on this mission.
Yeah, that's quite instructive.
Yes.
You know, he spoke about saying a lacuna. That's a legal term. By the way, there is a space, a need. And instead of complaining of what could have been,
that's right,
you took the initiative and that counts for something.
Yeah, so let's talk about the journey so far. Is it what you envisaged, or are there some shockers you've experienced when you, went on this journey?
Evelyn, that's a very, very important question. I'd be lying if I tell you here that it's been a smooth sailing. It's not been. But that is life.
Okay.
I was reading something a couple of days ago about the duality of life. Why do we have male and female? Good and bad. Light and darkness. Is the nature of life. I didn't envisage some of the hiccups, the bottlenecks that I'm witnessing when I threw my ring. When I jump into this. I didn't know that I was going to go through all this, because what happened was this: I came on board at a time that the Nigerian government digitized the television broadcast space. That means hitherto you are allowed to transmit on the terrestrial platform. What I needed to do in the last 10 years was to approach Nigerian Broadcasting Commission through the presidency. When I get my license, I get a frequency. I buy my transmitter and I come home and I start to broadcast. But now the dynamics have changed over time. So when we threw our hat in the ring, these were facts, these were details that we didn't factor into it. I was aware, but I'm a very stubborn person. I'm a dreamer. I'm very passionate about my dream. I go into it headlong. Bring it on. As I'm a very spiritual person. I soak my dream in the blood. I pray unto the Lord, and and once I get the word to go ahead, I don't look back. Storms will definitely come. Storms are part of life. Storms make life interesting. If you have to be in life without storms, without challenge, it's going to be very boring. So the first storm we witnessed was that we are not, and I don't think starting like this, we're not in the platform that we wish to be ab initio. I thought I'd be flying high now on DSTV or GoTV, but the circumstances and the dynamics were so problematic, the bureaucracy was so much, the politics, I can't explain it. And that, okay, that you have a brand, that you have a channel, does not guarantee you automatic place on this popular platform.
Biggest platform.
Multi-choice, no doubt, is the most popular platform for satellite broadcasting in Nigeria. And because they are popular, they have a monopoly sort of. So they cherry pick. So you have to queue. And there's so many television stations waiting in row to be on board. They call it onboardment process. So the conversations are on. So we said, okay, let's run with StarTimes to test the waters. But you will know that many more people are on multi-choice platforms, on GoTV, on DSTV than on StarTimes. Is the truth. And if people are not on StarTimes where you broadcast, that limits the eyeballs that you get. Because it is satellite that you have, the dish you have at home, the decoder that you have at home will determine the channel you listen to or you watch. So that was one major challenge. And I thought that marketing or pitching my quality content would be enough for me to come on board. Little did I know that there are much more than that. Just, I believe that, okay, as a professional, if I can parade this best of faces, this best of brains, this best of voices, and I go to them and approach them that these are the content that I have in my archive that I want to roll on television, that we'll be in business and we'll be in sync, we'll be on the same page. But alas, that is not it. But it's a temporary setback. And I know very soon we'll be where people will watch us much more. I'm happy that we are not where we were when we started a year ago. We get a lot of feedback. People still call from home to appreciate what we do. But never despise the days of little beginnings.
Yeah, so they say, but talking about cherry picking, does location play a factor? You mentioned about the issue of you waiting. Does location, the fact that you are in Osogbo, will they consider someone, a station starting up in Lagos before they consider you here in Osogbo? Is that a factor?
I need to let you know that it is a factor to an extent.
Okay.
Because if you happen to mingle or to mix with those in Lagos, they have this belief that anything and everything outside the geographical entity known and referred to as Lagos is not of their quality. It's a belief. I mean, you are not a New Yorker, you are not a New Yorker. You are not in Paris, you are not in Paris. You are not a Londoner, you are not a Londoner. You live outside. You are not in Lagos, you are not a Lagos guy. But we need to debrief them. It will be interesting, there is no television station in Osun State that is on multi-choice platform. Not a single one. And that speaks to the fact that you need to, if I were to be in Lagos, I wouldn't need to convince them as much as I have to convince them. It's more, I need to do much more to convince them that, hey, I'm bringing content on board. Because Nigerian economy is domiciled in Lagos. Everything is in Lagos. So they tend to see everything from that perspective. That's the truth. So it's a challenge. But when we started radio station, my friends in Lagos discouraged me. Femi, why will you be in Osogbo? I said, why not Osogbo? If you guys are Lagos guys, you are Lagos, right? I don't like the hustle and bustle of Lagos. I'd rather stay in Osogbo. And to the glory of God, we convinced them over time that it's worth being in Lagos, in Osogbo. Somebody we have to develop the hinterland. We cannot all concentrated on Lagos and Abuja and the city centers. Somebody needs to bring life into this side of the world. And I'm proud of myself, and I thank God that I'm doing that. And there's no regret whatsoever. It may make my journey more, it may make it tougher, as it were, but I am convinced beyond doubt that we will get there.
You know, speaking about blazing the trail.
That's right.
Breaking new grounds, especially when it comes to quality broadcasting. Now, still talking about the journey so far. Now, let's talk about the ease of doing the business. Now, the logistics, the last 1 year, you know, the economy has not remained the same at all. In fact, the last 1 month or the last 1 week, the dynamics have been changing. And then you look into the cost of running the business, especially we just talked about the location and the huge investment that's in it. So how's it been for you?
Typically, it's been challenging. When we started radio 2015, the liter of diesel was 120 naira. That means to fill my 100 kVA generator, I paid 12,000 naira. Now to fill my 100 kVA generator now is 130,000 naira. Because it's now 1,300 naira per liter. So if in a day, 24 hours, or let's say 18 hours, we need to fill that generator out there. It will cost me 260,000 naira. So the economy is not smiling.
Per day.
The data and the statistics there are scary. But you know, tough times don't last.
Tough people
but
do.
Tough people do. And I'm very tough at problems. You see, you buy me any to buy lójú kan. Only the amilowa. If you keep at it and you are consistent, you are tenacious. Tenacity is the value that I bring to the table here, and conviction. It's when you are convinced about your dream, no matter what life throws at you, you take it in your stride, equanimity, and you face it squarely. So I have seen it, by the grace of God, very soon. You know, let me even tell you, when I started Western Spring Television, this whole enterprise, I think it is God ordained. I started construction before I got my license. I was just bored, and we did the construction in the midst of COVID-19, when the whole economy was, I think I started construction in 2020, when everybody was, I was just bored. I was in my office, and I was like, Femi, you've been doing this for 7 years. It's time to do something new. And I look at this used to be our car park, and I acquired a plot more. They've started construction. My friends were like, why television is tough? Why radio is good and stuff like that? There was a temptation to do another radio station. I would have called it Rave FM. Rave is where I come from. That's the native word for my Rave FM. Okay. That's where I come from. That's my lineage, you know, right? Because of my Rave. Okay. But I told myself, Femi, you'll be competing with yourself. Because I would have made it 100% Yoruba content-oriented radio station. And I said, okay, so what become of Rave 91.7 FM, my darling station, the mother end, as it were? I will speak my audience. Say, why not do something new? Throw your heart in the ring on a bigger platform. And I said, okay, television. So I started construction, and I wanted a very beautiful outfit that is out of this climb. So I got a good architect. Okay, do the construction. You know, at the end of the day, I was looking, I never knew the cameras were expensive and everything like that. I had to make recourse to back of industries. Okay. And they came and they were impressed with what we do. Because it's all about dream. You see, life is short. And you have to live it to the fullest. You have to fulfill your dreams. Somebody said that the biggest, even for brilliant ideas, is the cemetery. I don't want mine to be like that. Whatever idea I have where I'm here, I want to give it a try. I want to push it. So, economy has not been favorable. The statistics are not smiling. The data are staggering. But we are here. This is where we are. We haven't got any other option. We are just hoping and believing that something good will happen. Government will still racing to support micro economy, small and non-economy. Because we can't grow a nation without strengthening the micro and the small scale economy, business. We need to grow small scale economy. And this is what we are. At least we are about 53 people in our employment. That means we are contributing substantially to the state GDP, as it were. If you listen to statistics on CNN or BBC, and they tell you this month we added about 1,000 jobs, those were not jobs created by government. Those were jobs created by small-scale enterprises. If a guy is employed in an hotel in New York City, once it's documented, it goes into the database that someone has been employed somewhere. That's what America uses as basis to push the economic indices. So it is important that governments start to beam their searchlight on how to strengthen small-scale enterprises and medium-scale enterprises, because it is the way to grow our economy and to mop up unemployed people from the unemployment market. Does it?
You know, Femi, I was just tempted to say, I'll say it. You know, the normal parlance, Nigerian parlance we have.
When you say Femi, which of the Femis?
All right, you know,
that's the broadcast standard. It doesn't really matter. But I'm guessing this system.
Of course.
I'm guessing this system.
They say when you're big, you're big. Yeah. He mentioned the fact that he just was sitting in his office one afternoon and he was bored. And he said, okay, what can I do? You know,
do something new.
Do something new. And he started off this place for boredom to bring in something as big as this. You know when you're big, you're big. For some people, boredom brings in. I'm
flattered.
You know, it shows. It actually shows the extent of his dream and who he is a success. You know, the popular saying that success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that matters.
That's right.
And the fact that he has done something with Rave 91.7 FM and decided, okay, let me do this again for my community, for Ocean people, to bring people together, to employ more people. It talks to the fact that he's indeed a very great success. And
thank you.
I must say, yes, that it's an honor to be associated with you. So let's move on now. Do you think television, as a television person, since 53 years ago when we had the first television station, WNTV, come on board, do you think television has made significant progress since then? Do you think if Chief Ohiolei was here today, he would be proud of what television has become?
Yes, he should be very proud. Television in the Nigerian climate has been a huge success. And that's the essence of television, actually, as a medium of mass communication, is to set agenda, is to strengthen democracy, and to give the voice to the voiceless, voice to the people. I think television has been a veritable channel to reach the mass of the Nigerian people, and as a platform for them to air their views and to for us to deepen democracy. And television has done so well. I'm very proud of the big brands like Channels Television, Arise Television, those who are doing very well, really setting agenda and really taking to task. You know, look, Section 22 of the Constitution is very explicit about the role of the media in a democracy. Say, the media shall hold government accountable. It's explicit. So when people think that, when they refer to the media as the fourth estate of the realm, it's not just a romantic word. It's a call to action. That's the truth. So we have a role to play. And it's a whole bunch. Television, radio, newspaper, and now social media. So it's a whole bunch. And we are doing it. Television has done so well to highlight the problems of Nigerians. You need to see some programs that we call Ohiolei. And people will bring on television what they are going through in their areas, in their local environment, in their community. And that will attract the attention of government to fix bridges, to fix culverts, to fix schools, to fix hospitals. And that's beautiful. That is the essence of democracy, is the essence of the media, to call the attention of the power that be in the cities to the plight of those who live in the hinterland. So we have been a bridge builder. Television has done so very well. But television has grown substantially. This year, I think it was April, I was in Nevada, Las Vegas, for what we call the American National Broadcasters Association Conference. And I saw cameras. I saw television. I saw the latest equipment. I was like, wow, television has advanced, has come to stay. And I was telling someone that the new phase in television broadcasting is AI. AI is going to take over and deliver quality television content, beautiful, crispy color that you can't resist. So television has a long way to go. And I do tell people that television and radio are platforms that social media may not threaten.
I was just about to ask you that question.
Bring it
Do you see social media as a threat to television broadcasting?
I see social media.
Conventional media.
Conventional.
That's right.
Media.
I see social media as a platform that will play a complementary role with the traditional media.
Not a threat.
It's not a threat whatsoever. It's been a very effective threat to the newspaper world. Actually, it has threatened that platform so very much that they're not doing so well, as it were. A shadow of themselves. You can't compare the Punch of 15 years ago to the Punch of today. What they do in terms of numbers, in terms of sales, Tribune, Vanguard, Guardian. But radio, what we now do is that we are employing the tools of social media to complement what we do and to deploy our message. So we are going to play a complementary role. Ditto with television. So what we do now, we are streaming live on all platforms people want to see. So television, and the other thing is this, there is when you go to work and you return later in the evening and you are on your couch in your living room, something to feed your eyes, something very beautiful. You just want to see something. You want to see a beautiful face like Evelyn's face. I want to see an handsome face like yours. It's pleasing. It's refreshing. You get my point? Rather than just staring at your phone. Yeah, you can watch. And because it's a bigger platform, the screen is bigger than phone. Some of us have to squeeze our face, our eyes, when you want to watch stuff on tabs, on phones. But television, now we have big television screens. You see some big screens. 86 inches, 100 inches, huge and very beautiful. So television will not be eclipsed early by social media. Neither will radio be dwarfed by social media. We are going to play complementary roles. That's my conviction.
And not really competitive, though.
Yes, it may be competitive, but I want to say that despite the competition, for instance, now, you know how passionate I am. I don't belong to your generation. How passionate I am about social media. And I have a lot of guys around crazy sometimes who do this job, and they have to do that. I mean, I think we are going to be very complimentary. They will threaten. Social media will threaten the very foundation of the traditional media. But I see television and radio staying afloat for the next 50 years.
Next 50 years?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. This will be the first leg of the conversation. We'll take a break to show you possibly some of the highlights of what we have done so far, and starting with yesterday, what it meant to us here at Western Spring Television. You get to watch something, and then we'll come back to Dr. Adefila to talk about setting the agenda for the next 1 year, for the next 10 years. What's next? We have heard about the journey so far. What next for WSTV? And of course, we talk about issues in the nation as well. Of course, you can have somebody of his wisdom and I'll take advantage to contribute, as he has been, obviously, to nation building as well. We'll be back. All right. Those are some of the faces of the people that do the work here. And, you know, it was quite, I don't want to use the word.
I wonder where I was.
You were not sure.
No, I need to talk to Leke because I wonder how he acted. Excuse me from that video. Actually, it didn't capture me. I went.
Well, you could go to court.
I can seek redress at the court.
By the way, you know, that's what happened. Some of the things that happened yesterday, and of course today, the continuation of the anniversary week with very mind-blowing lectures that'll be happening later. And Doctor, now, you know, still speaking about, let me talk to you about, and you speak to us as well, about the support, the community, the state, rivals, so to speak. How supportive have they been, the people of your immediate community, to the success of what we have right now?
Well, I think the people have been very supportive.
How much of that did you get?
Yeah, the people have been very supportive in terms of, you see, what gladdens my heart most is when I go out and I get feedback really from the people. These are the consumers of the product that we bake here. These are the consumers of our broadcast content. If you get good review, you see a man in the bank and he walks up to you and says, "Oh, Mr. Adefila, I appreciate what you guys do. I watch your television or I listen to your radio station. God bless you," and he prays for you. It gives you a sense of fulfillment. You know, the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Fulfillment is one of those things. You feel fulfilled. You feel accomplished. That it's worth it while. That my stress, my effort, every struggle that I've put into this, it's coming out and smelling good. So I get that support. But you see, support will not come on a platter of gold. You have to deserve the support. By the time they see what you do, how you are meeting their needs, how you are bridging the gap for them, how you are being a very objective voice for the voiceless, of course, the support will come. That's how to galvanize support. You don't come to the table and feel self-entitled and demand support. Nobody's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Because life is very transactional. I say it often. Life is transactional. We work together as a mutual benefit for us. And that's the attraction. So if I bring quality content to the table and they enjoy the content, that's the transaction. Like, that is the nature of life. I even tell that, you know, we worship the Most High God because he's a good God. He meets us at our point of need. He answered our prayers. That's why we go on our knees every morning and pray to God. God, I'm going. Please bless my day. If it's a God that does not listen, you won't pray to that God. You agree with me? That is the transactional nature of relationship in life. Husband and wife is transactional. So if you have listeners, you have viewers, if you are not doing what they like, you are not meeting their needs, you are not a voice for the voiceless, it is not likely that they support you. So we get this support, and it takes time to build integrity, to build the trust. You don't earn the trust a day. It takes time. You must be consistent. You must keep at it. You will, the Bible says, "Finiwa." You must tell them who you are. Are you there for their good or not, or otherwise? So I think we are able to convince them that we are here for good and we are here in their interest. So the support has been good and has been very encouraging. The awards keep coming in every day. I'm not a very award centric person. I don't know why, but when it comes from credible platforms, credible organizations, I recognize them. So people want to award us every day, and it's a demonstration of the fact that they appreciate what we do. It's a testament. It's a testimony to the fact that they watch us, they listen to us, and they believe that they should say thank you. So people come here on your birthdays, they bring up and I'll stop to say happy birthday, I like this girl, I like this guy, and stuff like that. If they don't listen, if they don't appreciate us, if they don't want to support us, there won't be that practical demonstration of support and concrete.
Do you think the support and acceptance you received, especially when you started up Rave 91.7 FM, is tied to the fact that you're an indigene of the state? Do you think if you were from another state, you're going to get the same support?
I want to believe so, with very due respect. See, when I came when we came on board with Rave 91.7 FM, there are other channels on the horizon. That's what we call ourselves, a new star on the horizon. That was one of the words we used before defining the moment, amazing music, quality talk. Yeah. They wanted a new brand of broadcasting that would not be politically aligned.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we came to the table with exact that model. So regardless of who the visionary was, in fact, being a visionary was a challenge because I had worked for a political party in this state. So some people received my brand with a lot of doubt. They were skeptical.
Yeah.
So I told my staff, the pioneers, that, hey, I'm coming to the table with a baggage.
You call it a baggage?
I call it a baggage. Yeah. And I told them expressly, I'd worked for this government for so number of years in this state, and I went to Abuja, I did the same. So returning now, the likelihood of people suspecting my political alliance is there. But let me tell you, I have no alliance. My alliance is with Rave 91.7 FM and the people.
Okay.
We will say it as it is. We will do it. We will uphold the tenets of broadcast journalism and the ethics of the profession. That's what we have done over the years. So, if someone had come from Enugu and had served the kind of content that we served, you could have been embraced. That's the truth.
I quite understand because optics is key, especially in this business, for the people to see who you are, they accept you for whatever you are doing.
You are, that's right.
Yeah, and let me ask, still on journey so far, what will you call your biggest challenge so far? Pre-construction, during construction, shopping for hands that you could work with, the cost of running the business. This is the last one, Dr. Adefila, what will you call your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge is the struggle to be on the platform of my desire.
Okay.
I knew that no business survives or gestates without the challenge of money. Money is one of those things. I tell people, if you have a vision, a dream, let money be the least of your worries. Be passionate about your vision. Money will come one way or the other. If you are passionate about it and you keep at it, money will come. But taking this television to the platform of my desire has been the challenge. Speaking to people, engaging them, trying to convince them to see my vision, to buy into my dream, and to allow me to fly on their platform has been a challenge. I wish that bureaucratic bottleneck were not there. I wish that encumbrance were not there. I wish I had a terrestrial platform without recourse to this satellite bureaucracy. Yeah, I wish. But unfortunately, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the reality of life. And I have to face it squarely because it's a challenge of life and it's one milestone I have to achieve. It's one hurdle I got to cross. And I keep at it until I cross the hurdle because it will take us to where we want to be. It's been a great. And the challenge lately is about diesel. But by the grace of God, we'll be leaving the diesel rev and going full solar very soon, by God's grace, so that all these issues and itches of generator, diesel, because green energy is the future. This fossil fuel is giving the nation a lot of issues, giving me challenge, it's giving business, it's crippling business. That's it. I slept in an hotel in Ado-Ekiti over the weekend, and I was speaking to the chairman, the owner of the hotel, in the morning at breakfast, and we were exchanging note, and he told me that they took light the previous night at 7, and I was having breakfast with him at 8:30. He has a 500 kVA generator. He had run about 600,000 naira worth of diesel overnight, and he asked me, how much do you think I made overnight?
So I've incurred.
He has incurred
600,000 naira.
600,000 naira.
Such an amount.
That's right. Because a liter of diesel in Nigeria is 1,300. Get it right. So do your math. So you have a generator that consumes, let's say, 500 kVA. Do your mathematics. That is about 500,000, then 330,000 naira in 5 places. I'm talking of about 600-something thousand naira. So that is what business. Somebody told me that it is suicidal to be a businessman in Nigeria of today.
At this time.
That's why businesses are closing up.
That's quite a challenge.
That's right, it's a challenge. So people are looking inward. So that is why you separate the boys from the men when challenges come. So we throw in the towel. I'm not one of those that we throw in the towel. Look for alternatives. That people are now, okay, let's go the green energy route. So that we solve this problem permanently.
By the way,
because we are here to stay.
Yeah, when the going gets tough,
the top
gets going. You can see some of what we do here on your screen now. Talking about, I mentioned about getting hands that you could work with. How easy was that? Because I remember I was at I think the second anniversary of Rave. I had Aurora.
That's right. When we had Ohiolei and
Shilsani. I was there. And I remember one thing that you said when it was your time to talk, that you are a spiritual person, you have said it, and you pray to God to give you hands that could carry your dream and your vision. And you are giving glory to God that it's worth those people then when you had a roll call of all of them, many of the pioneers. I remember vividly. Will you say the same for the WSTV?
That's right. It's a culture, it's an ideology, it's a tradition. You don't clap with one hand. It's very difficult. So you understand? You need two hands to clap. So you need destiny helpers. You need people that will buy into your vision, into your dream, that will be convinced. The greatest mistake a man can make in life is to entrust your dream in the hands of wrong people. They mess it up for you. But if you pray to God, I tell people that, and that's the truth, that everybody working with me, they are product of my prayers. Because I go on my knees, Father Lord, give me the best of hands that will interpret my dream, translate it, and transmit it. I need a transmission of one's dream. You need channels to transmit your dreams. And human beings are channels for the transmission of dreams. So you need the best of hands. You can't have some, you understand? You can't have it 100%. But if you have about 80-85%, you're good to go. You've done well. So and you don't sieve so finely without recourse to the divine. Then you must be diligent. Why am I engaging? Professional competence is very important to me, but character is another thing that I value so very much. So if you bring character and professional competence, if you are not so professionally competent, but you have character competence, that character competence will tame your professional competence. Because it's going to give you a lot of humility. Then you can now learn and grow on the job. But if you have professional competence, but you lack character, it will do over time. That's what happens. That's what happens. So to the glory of God, I have, like I said earlier on, the base of hands that I can get within this climb and that my pulse can pay for.
That's quite key, by the way. So quickly, Doctor, what's before I told you we are still going to delve into what is happening in the nation and matters arising. WSTV is one exactly today.
That's right.
Fulfilled? Excited?
Yes, I'm excited that a baby was born.
And what's next?
365 days ago, and the baby is still waxing strong and it's not dead. And the Lord has been very merciful. And that's why I sing Emi Ori Ọlọ́run mi ṣùgbọ́n mo feel I have assurance Ọlọ́run mi wípé wa. So God has been very marvelous to us.
You might want to interpret that to our
God haven't seen you physically, but I can feel your presence. I'm convinced that you live it. How are you convinced that the Lord live it? By the products, by the fact that there are answers to your prayers. That's the meaning. So we are 1 year, we are here, we are not where we ought to be, but we are not where we were 365 days ago. We have taken the bold step and we are looking, our eyes are on the ball. That's what is most important. The first lesson you learn in the game of tennis, I play so and I love so well, they will tell you your eyes must be on the ball. If your eyes misses the ball, your racket can never touch the ball. But once your eyes are on the ball, then your racket will interface with the ball and you can record a goal or you even return at best. So your eyes must not be on the ball. You cannot afford to drop the ball. So we keep our eyes on the ball and we are hoping for the very best because we still have a lot to achieve, a long way to go. As it were, I was asking them when we had a break that what happened to start times. Those flip-flop tendencies, they are not in sync with my dream. That's what I want. That's not my desire.
Yeah.
But for crying out loud, I'm boxed to this corner for now. But I want to bust out.
All right, lastly from my end, if there was some past to take you back to that particular afternoon where you conceived the idea of WSTV, what would you have done differently? I wanted to ask, would you have still said yes to WSTV? But I think I'm convinced with all that you have said this morning that you would have said yes. But what would you have done differently?
I would have said yes to WSTV, and perhaps the construction would have been better.
Okay.
I will have done some. I will have given more ambience to my studio in terms of space. And but I will have still done it because it's a dream, it's a passion, it's a vision, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I believe that I think we may not be the first private-owned television station. I think we are the second
in Osun
State. But despite that we are the second, I think we are the most viewed, as it were, and we can do better.
Yeah.
I know that by the time we sit down here to have a conversation when we are second, by God's grace, we will not be where we are today. I'm convinced beyond doubt in my spirit.
Yeah.
And my spirit tells me that we are going to bust out and we'll do great.
Yeah, before we leave, this, line of questioning, I'd like to ask, beyond shopping for people, praying to God to give you good hands, having them work for you, and most importantly, work with you, not just to work for, but to work with.
That's what is important.
And interpret this dream. And of course, they themselves, we ourselves, earning our living here. Talking about mentorship, do you think you are doing that even when the people are working with you, or the people that have the passion? Do you think that is happening? Because many persons will say one of the bane of Nigeria is proper mentorship in any climb, in any endeavor. Do you think that's something you are doing, and is it intentional?
Very, very intentional. I can tell you for free that in the last 8 years, I think I've produced about 7 heads of stations for other stations.
Wow.
Deliberately.
People that have worked for you.
That work with me, who are head of stations. I just returned from England. About 3 people came to see me who had worked with me before, who have jackpot for one reason or the other, and they're in Britain and doing so well. You see, mentorship is what you do for others outlive you much more than what you do for yourself. What you do for others is the deposit that you have made in the life of others. And it's the most important, is the legacy. So when you mentor people, you teach them the best way you know that this is how to live life, this is the best way to attain professional competence, character competence. And what is important for me is that everybody that is or part has crossed mine. At the point of meeting or at the point of exit, I want us to be able to see. And I want us to be able to maintain the camaraderie, the friendship, and the relationship even thereafter. And I think that's what I've achieved. So it's a deliberate strategy to mentor people, to deposit the values that one have even in them, that they can carry on.
And let's look at the nation at large. Now we reported this morning, it's on the dailies, by the way, what former President Olusegun Obasanjo said yesterday when I can see you signing already about the democracy that we operate, and he was talking about the Africa continent as a continent. He even said the Western democracy that we practice. And, Vanguard is saying it has failed, that democracy has failed in Africa. What's your thought on what the highly revered Olusegun Obasanjo said? Is it democracy that has really failed, or the people, or who we are, or really it wasn't meant for us?
I think the reasons are intertwined and interwoven, and align myself with his thought to an extent.
Okay.
I've been pointing on this issue for a very long time, that is democracy and good governance mutually exclusive or mutually inclusive? Again, is democracy and good governance mutually inclusive or mutually exclusive? And I've concluded that democracy and good governance are not mutually inclusive. They are mutually exclusive.
How so?
The desire of every man, of you, of my humble self, is good governance.
Yeah.
The mode of delivering on that does not matter to me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. I was in New York. I think 2009. I went on a U.S. government-sponsored program, and I met a friend of mine from Bhutan. Bhutan is a very small nation, sandwiched between India and China.
Yeah,
but very small nation. And they run a monarchical regime. And he was telling me that because the king went to school in America, he went to Harvard when he was a prince.
Yeah.
Now he's king. He's trying to introduce democracy. And as a resistance to democracy in Bhutan. And we don't want democracy. We are happy with our monarchical rule because we are getting dividends of good governance. The ultimate aim of every government, of every type of government, is good governance. Taps, water flows from your tap. Electricity,
stable,
security, health,
basic amenities,
education, basic amenities. A friend of mine, Dr. Ohiolei, we describe democracy most often as the luxury of the West.
Luxury.
Now, the way we practice in Nigeria, 107 senators, 360 House of Rep members, that we are over-governed even as a people. Look at it. I come from a village called Ohiolei, not a village, a big town actually. We have councillors. We have local government chairmen. You move to the state, we have commissioners. We have House of Assembly. We have the governor. We are over-governed. We have in Osun 30 local government. We have so many words. So in the Nigerian nation, we spend so much on governance infrastructure than on government infrastructure than on governance itself. So at a time, you see, I think he said that knowing Obasanjo, that's a very deep person. You may not agree with him as a person, but I think he's the best president we've had since the return of democracy.
In your opinion?
That's right. That's my view. Because he left concrete institutions. Everything you make reference to in Nigeria today, the ICPC, the FCC, anything you talk about is Obasanjo. And when you leave institutions, it's a product of a deep thought. It takes the deep to cut to the deep. He left legacies. You may not agree with his style. I don't agree with his personalities in some instances. But when you talk of somebody who is clear-headed, who knows what it is to govern, give it to Obasanjo. So I think the spiral of coups that we witness in Africa, in the Sahel region in particular, must have informed that his position, that democracy may be failing in Africa. And I think what is important is this. The best of government can be messed up by the worst of people. What we should interrogate as a people is our leadership recruitment process. Who do we give the responsibility to govern us? Are they the best of us or the worst of us? But most often than not, we leave the political space to the worst, not the best. Those people who made first class are in the university, they are teaching. They are criticizing the Ohiolei of this world, the Femi Adefila of this world. They are not throwing their heart in the ring of context that they can in practical terms, bring changes to bear.
But one want to talk about the system, because there was a Gani Fawemi who tried it, who wasn't supported.
The same Nigerians refused to vote for him. Nigerians, I mean, do you know what I'm not saying? That you are just buttressing my point, that we must reassess and reinterrogate our leadership recruitment process. Who do we give the right to govern us? Why did we reject Gani Fawemi, despite the fact that he was on our side as a people all his life? But when the time came for us to give him the opportunity to lead us, we failed him. We refused him. We told him that he was not worthy of being our leader.
Doctor,
we said it unequivocally.
Isn't this because politics has been heavily monetized in our society? Someone who has a lot to offer isn't given the chance to govern because he hasn't greased the palms of some people.
My dear, Evelyn, power is never served a la carte all over the world. You got to throw your heart in the ring. You have to work at it to win it. Nobody will just say, oh, Evelyn, you are so pretty, come and be the governor of Osun State or your state. No. You got to show interest. You got to demonstrate interest. You have to work at it. It's a contest. You want to be the number one person in a state like Osun. There are 4 million people. You want to be the first person. It's not going to be a tea party. It's not a walk in the park. You got to work at it. Let me tell you a secret. Yeah. Politicians have done something. It's a narrative, and it's a deliberate narrative. To shut the door at the good people, they painted politics themselves as a very dangerous game. It's a lie.
It's intentional.
It's intentional, so that you people will be scared of coming to politics. That's the truth. I tell people, the more you buy that narrative, the more you deprive yourself good governance.
But isn't that true? We see the brigandage, the show of force, violence.
Have you seen LUW people conducting the election? Don't you see brigandage?
That's
medical doctors who are conducting the election in the state. Did you see brigandage?
MBA.
What are you talking about? It is part of life. When you have clash of interest, it's stiff competition. That must be precious. Do you agree with me? So, but they now portray politics as dirty. It's not as dirty as we portray it. It depends on how you want to play it. That's the truth. We have had teachers being shot. Have you been at NUT conferences? Nigerian Union of Teachers. Have you been at nurses conferences? One interest collide. There are competing interests. There will be stiff competition. There will be shenanigans. Then we try to outsmart each other. We do both what is towards and what is untoward. It's human nature, not just here. Did you see what's happened in America? On the 6th of January, what Trump tried to do, but the institutions of that nation resisted the brigandage, the shenanigan of Trump. So we need to build institutions, and I think we have to, as a nation, we have to interrogate and within ourselves, what kind of leadership do we actually want? I think we have not really come to that point. We need to sit down and interrogate it. What people are the best that can deliver on this set of goals and objectives? Because I think we have gone south so very much, and we need to return north.
Right. It is good to know, because I wanted to ask, but then our producers are saying that have something that you should see, by the way, that will interest you, and of course the generality of the people, and then we'll come back and take it on from there.
The opening of the Western Nigeria television service was a great occasion.
Hello, my name is Femi Adefila, and this is to welcome you to a new experience, a digitized audiovisual experience that will break the boundaries of color and culture. Western Nigeria gave Africa our first feel of television broadcasting in 1959. After 63 years of globetrotting, television is coming back home, bigger, bolder, and better, to take it where it deserves seat in the Hall of Fame. Western Spring Television will be hitting your screen with the best of programs created for your viewing and listening pleasure on WSTV. Our scope knows no boundary. Come with us on this journey. Come and be part of history.
All right. Kudos
to you guys.
I think that was when you introduced the BSTV to the world.
That's right.
And looking back and see it now, I can see you giggling, happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy because the vision that you envision is materializing, and you are not where you ought to be. But it has kick-started. It has taken off, and you're on the trajectory to where you want to be. So I think I'm very happy that when we envision that, these things were never in place then, but it's not in place now. So it's a thing of joy.
Let me put you on the spot right now. And I wanted to ask, of all our programs on WSTV.
No, don't do that.
Let me do that.
Don't do that. It's like you asking a father to pick his favorite.
But let me say
I don't think that would
let
be
me say
nice.
this. I think let me help him.
Yeah.
You see, there's no doubt that I'm a news and current affairs person. You can't take that away from me. That's who I am. That has been my trajectory in broadcasting. So MS is a baby. I'm very passionate, but there's no doubt about that. They all know that. But anything that is news and current affairs oriented is a program I'm passionate about. But that is my forte. That's why I can play. That's why I can identify with. So you are rest assured that I'm part of your team. We'll work together.
And also I was trying to help you out, so some other people do not feel like
they all know that.
So my program doesn't matter, but it does matter. I mean, you're part of the team. It matters.
That's right. Every program matters because it is those pieces that come together to make a whole. So it's very important.
All right, Dr. Adefila, your story on this particular journey is quite inspiring, and I'd love for you to, talk to someone watching right now who has a dream to achieve something. It might not be in broadcasting, it might be in another sector, another area, and it feels this is just too big. I don't think I can achieve this. If you were to be seated with this person in your office, let's take it like you are seated with this person in your office at this time, how would you advise this person? What would you tell this person to do at this time?
Number one, I would say own your dream. Own your dream. And don't trade it for anything.
Don't trade it for anything.
Be passionate about it. Be very tenacious. Life will throw you challenges, stones at you. And the essence is to frustrate you. Let me tell you a story in the Bible. Our Lord Jesus Christ told the disciples, he said, let's cross to the other side. And they were in the ship. What came? Storms came. Anytime you're about to go to the other side, life will throw storms at you. They want to take, they want to give you challenges. They want to take wings off your sail. That was what I was looking for. So just be rest assured that once it's your dream, then number one thing I do, I may not be your SU, but I'm very spiritual. I believe that what happened in the physical has a relationship with the terrestrial. You need to be passionate about that. Commit it to the Lord. Go on your knees. You don't need to go to an intermediary to help you seek the face of the Lord. I tell people that you don't need to go to a pastor. I say it often on issues of Christendom. If you have not lost your sonship status in your father's house, you don't need to go through an intermediary or a third party to approach your father. Go on your knee, go on to the father, share with him. And once you get the word, it's about conviction. Most of us, when we pray, we don't know how to get feedback. Feedback will not come by God saying, but something will happen that will convince your spirit, your soul, that this is the path to go. But challenges are bound to come. If it's a good thing, it must be tough. If it's a bad thing, it may not be as tough. But if it's a very good thing, you see, go and listen to stories. I read a lot of biographies, autobiographies. People have made it in life. What we do is that we celebrate the end result, the success story of those people who have made it big. We don't interrogate how they got there. It's very important. The process. Life is a journey. There's a gestation period to any business. You were not born exactly this height, this size. You've grown over years. I know what you have gone through. You were in primary school, you were in nursery school, you were in university before you got to where you are. It's a story of life. So please own your dream. Be passionate about it and fight for it.
And someone is asking, you started with radio, went into TV. Now, what next? Is it airport?
My dream is to make Western Spring Television the best and the biggest in this line. So I am working day and night, praying unto the Lord, committing resources to make it big. It will be stupid of me not to nurture this television to the height and now throw my heart in another ring. No, I must stay here and ensure that I watch it grow and add flesh and look robust. That's I'm still here.
All right. I'll take this as your final short. The next question is your word to the team that has worked with you for the last 1 year.
That's
and to our people.
I want to start with my team. That's very important. I want to thank all of you for being worthy partners, compatriots, destiny helpers. I think I'm a very lucky guy because I work with the best of hands around here. Some other organizations, they witness crises, infighting every day. I work with the best of hands who are very sociable, who have social competence, and who believe in my dream and my vision. So I bless the name of the Lord for that. And I want to thank them for being my destiny helpers and as helping to nurture this brand. Yeah. We are in this together, and I pray that God will provide you helpers as you have done for me. And for those who are listening at home, those who are viewing us, continue to believe in Western Spring Television. We are here to stay, and we are here to make a difference. We will always say it as it is, because that's our mantra. Yeah. I want to thank you very much for being with us.
All right. Thank you as well for being our guest on the program today. Thank you. And, it's on behalf of us, Evelyn and I, of course, the entire production team and everyone.
It's part of the team.
Yeah, of course. We'd like to say congratulations.
Congratulations to you, sir.
On behalf of everyone.
Thank you.
To say congratulations to us, WSTV After One. And, of course, we have been speaking. Yeah, our producers are telling us the celebration has started already, so you get to get it after now. We're speaking with the Chief Executive Officer and the Chairman of Felecia Daniels Communications Limited, Dr. Femi Adefila. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it. My pleasure.
Yeah, and then, Femi Ojo is my name, possibly the season of the Femis here. At this point, we get to see you tomorrow, God willing, for the midweek edition. Please make sure you join us and follow us on our social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram at Western Spring Television. You have the page scrolling on your screen, and we are live on this program on our YouTube channel. You can have a recap of the program as well. Once again, I'm Femi Ojo. God bless Nigeria.
And from the one who is not Femi, my name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Have for yourself a good day. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Everybody tell the night they go. Every time when we enter the show, say the people that they feel alone. You know we say don't stop by, everything don't stop by, don't stop trying, don't stop jamming. Every time when we enter the show, everybody tell the night they go. Every time when we enter the show, say the people that they feel